Oh gosh. All right. Hello, everyone. We are live. Uh,
Ah, we
we are
are.
live.
Welcome, everybody. So, as you know, we have got so much to talk about the online conference. What is it? Why are we doing this? Why are we here? Why does this matter?
Yeah. So, um, Marielle and I have been having these conversations about uh, basically, what is missing in the disability community and how can we fix it? How can we change it? Um, and also, why we need to spread awareness about accessibility in general. And these are the types of conversations that we think people are not having. The reality of living with a disability. And so we decided, hey, let's create a 3-day conference. No big deal, right? um,
No,
and
uh,
and let's have it where people can come together and share their actual lived experience so people can hear the reality of living with a disability. And Mariella, why don't you bring up some of the topics that we would love to talk about?
what was the question?
Why don't you bring up some of the topics that
Oh my
we want to talk
God.
about?
We want to talk about all the things relating to disability. For such a long time, the disability conversation has really been happening by medical experts or other people that are experts in disability. And very often, the people that are missing from that conversation are actual people with disabilities. And one of the things that we see is missing from that conversation is people with disabilities talking about dating, people with disabilities talking about access to education, people with disabilities talking about jobs and discrimination and the laws and how they navigate these spaces that are just now, 32 years later after the ADA, finally becoming accessible. And where we are really seeing some of the representation that we should be seeing. And so, what we want to see is we want to have a conference for and by people with disabilities where our shared lived experience is what we talk about, where allies can really take a back seat and give a space to the advocates, to the leaders, to the people really doing the work in this movement and really taking a space for us to recognize the lived experience is expertise. And so we're going to have topics across 5 different tracks: hearing, vision, mobility, neurodiversity, and intellectual disability. And we're going to have advocates and leaders in the disability movement who have disabilities talk about these issues. So I am very excited because I have so many friends that are going to be talking about the things we talk about that we think are personal issues. And it's just in these conversations that we realize this is not a personal issue, this is not a personal shortcoming, this is a social issue. And it is in us having these conversations and in us creating these spaces that we're actually going to make a change. So those are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about from people that we both know and people that will self-nominate their talks at the Ally Conference link.
Yeah, so please visit A11yconference.com, and you will be sent to our Eventbrite where there is a link for submissions of presentation proposals. And in honor of the 32nd anniversary of the ADA, the tickets right now are $32 for complete access to all of the goodies that we will bring to this conference. So register, click on the link. We will include it in the description once we're done with this live. Is there anything else you want to add, Mariela?
Well, I'm going to be offline for the next 2 weeks because I'm actually celebrating my honeymoon with my
Yay!
husband. Yay! And so I'm very, very excited about getting back to this in about 2 weeks because right now my husband he's sleeping and I'm just like I need to talk to people about the ally conference. We need to do this live stream. Um, so I'm very, very excited about the work we're doing. It's really important. It's so needed. And I think that the thing that's going to make the A11y conference different from everything else is that it's going to be a party, it's going to be fun, it's going to be real people, and it's really going to be a real celebration of disability pride by
Yes.
people with disabilities, not people without disabilities dealing with like whatever it is that they want to do in the world. It's actual people with disabilities doing this conference. And that's
Yeah.
that's a really, really unique thing, worthy of me sneaking away on my honeymoon to come do this live stream. Very excited.
We actually got a comment on LinkedIn, and I'd like to share it on the screen. And it's Lisa Alcatino who said, "What I hate is a medical model being used for accommodation. I'm autistic, but I see a doctor for major depression. When employers want current medical documentation, they are only seeking one side of me and only accommodating the depression." Um, yeah, that is something that many people face. Um, the medical side of disability, and people forget there's a social aspect to actually living, right? It's about living with a disability. Um, and those are some of the issues that we really want people to be able to discuss at this conference and share maybe their ways of dealing with some of these issues, and helping each other, right? Creating that sense of community to help each other out. Um,
And one of the things that I really love about you, Triana, is that you look at problems not just as problems, but you look at the problem as the solution. And one of the things that I want to encourage every single disability advocate out there that is watching this video is so important for us to recognize the expertise we have on these topics. And we need to think about how do we share this expertise with those people that need to learn about it. So it's like when we talk about, for example, the medical model of disability, can that be a session? I want to encourage the person that made that comment to submit a session talking about the importance of looking away from the medical model of disability and looking at the social model of disability. What do you think? What is missing in the world? What is the topic that you want to speak to people on? What is the bad experience that you've had? What is the challenge you struggle with? What is the thing that wakes you up in the morning that you want to make difference, not just for yourself, but for everybody else? Because again, it goes back to that those individual problems we have that are actual social problems. And
mhm.
medical professionals looking only at the medical model of disability when speaking with patients with disabilities is a problem. So how do we create a workshop, just 30 minutes, to talk to medical professionals about the importance of looking at other models of disability when talking to patients with disability? That's something I haven't heard about. That would would make an amazing workshop. That would make an amazing topic for our session. And that's the type of leadership and expertise and workshops that we're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, you heard it here first. Please submit your panel discussion ideas, or not panel, but presentation discussion ideas. We are looking for not the typical presentation. I mean, any idea is a great idea. So submit it.
But most ideas are great ideas.
Yes. Yes. Most ideas are great ideas. Submit your idea because we are really excited um, to see who's out there and what you want to share, your expertise with the rest of the disability community. So, as Mariella said, she'll be offline, quote unquote, offline for 2 weeks. Although I have a feeling that she will sneak on because she snuck on literally when she landed, where she landed, and messaged me. So I don't know how long she'll be offline, but she's gonna try. But anyway, thank you for those of you tuning in live and those who watch it later. Um, Remember to visit A11y conference.com to get more info, register, submit a proposal for a presentation. We're looking for some really creative, interesting presentations that really displays um, the reality of living with a disability. And thank you, Lisa, for your comments. She also said that she will spread the word about the conference. Thank you so much. And we will see you soon. Bye, everyone.